I was trying to get a walk in before it got too hot, and I saw this bee and I decided I need to get my phone out and capture this. And it really kind of changed how I looked at this walk. The past couple of months, life has been pretty busy, a lot of stuff going on. Every day is just kind of unpredictable. All of these things happen, and that's life, right? So I'm trying to get out in the morning before it gets too hot. It's supposed to get really, really warm for the next couple of days. The air quality is not very good because there's a lot of forest fires. You can't even see the clouds in the sky. But anyways, Linus and I are trying to get some movement in. It's just too hard for Hunter to go on these longer walks, and I try and get Linus out when I can to enjoy them. There actually was a really nice breeze, and there was lots of trees, and it was kind of like in and out of shade. But anyways, Linus is smiling and enjoying it, but we definitely needed to get back home, and there was another bee doing its thing. And I kept thinking about on this walk that sometimes life gets so busy that you forget to stop and enjoy the little things that you can sometimes miss. Pulled back, very minimal makeup. Our walk started off nice and breezy, but by the end of it, we were glad to get home. It was getting pretty warm out, and today I can honestly say it's like the first day in a long time where there feels like there's normalcy in my routine. Okay, we're gonna switch to a voiceover. It feels like the past couple of months nothing was really going as planned, and I'm sharing that with you. You know, my husband ended up working from home longer than what he thought it was going to be. He likes to get up in the morning, have his coffee, get ready, get dressed, you know, have that routine, get out of the house and do all of that. He really enjoys it, and it ended up being longer than we thought. We got through it, and then, you know, we realized our air conditioner was broke. It actually wasn't too bad because the weather was warm during the days, but it wasn't like the hot and the humid that we're having now. Some days it was hotter in our house than it was outside. There was like no relief. We did the best we could with very simple meals, going out to eat wherever it was air conditioned. Thankful for our nice cool basement and just trying to do the best that we could. And then we were waiting for the air conditioning to come in and get fixed and all of that. It was kind of a waiting game because it really was out of our control because of the shipping. And then the worst of the worst happened. If you have a loved one with any kind of memory issues and all of that, you know, sometimes infections happen, and when they do, it really changes everything. So during this time, my mom ended up being in the hospital for 5-6 days, and there really wasn't a lot we could do. You know, it was IV, antibiotics, kind of a waiting game and all of that. And then it came time where she was able to, you know, go back home and all of that. And then it was really kind of a waiting game because lots of times whenever you have like a really serious illness, infection and all that, there seems to be an increase in the decline, and that was definitely happening. And I was trying to do the best I could. Our daughter was coming home for Canada Day weekend. I wanted to be in the moment with her and everything. And then after she got back to her life and seeing where my mom and everything was, I kind of like just hit my rock bottom. I was completely mentally and physically exhausted, and I needed to just kind of focus on recuperating my body. I needed to catch up on sleep and all of that, and then I was trying to get back into the groove of everything. And life has been happening, and even on this particular day, my day did not go as planned, and that's okay, it happens. And all week I tried to pick up the camera and vlog and give you a little peek into my day, and it just wasn't working. But I'm not gonna just say ignore it. I'm gonna give you a little glimpse into everything, and then I'm gonna share with you what I realized over this past week and these past couple of months. And honestly, it was all because of that little bee, and really just forgetting how when you don't slow down and enjoy those little things, they can just pass you by, and each day just feels like you're just trying to get through it. And when you don't stop and enjoy those little things, it makes every day that much harder. I did get some things done this day. I was switching laundry and I needed to get stuff in the dryer, so I had some sheets. I threw them on the bench. They've been sitting here for a week. I had a bunch of white laundry piling up, and I try and do it in hot water with like OxyClean to keep everything white. So I got that all done, and I need to get a bunch of this stuff put away. So I'm going to work on this bench today. And then I also want to get my Canada Day stuff packed up. I'm really trying to get the house down to a bare minimum. I really want to tackle some clutter and work on some problem areas that I've been having a real hard time with for the past little while. But I do realize that when everything was happening, all of this clutter and everything was really getting to me. So all of the Canada Day stuff was enjoyed. My husband actually noticed this piece here, and I was like, wow, that was really nice. So I got everything packed up, and then I'm also going to pack up Linus's little bandana for Canada Day so we can pull it out next year and enjoy it. So anyways, I'm going to keep working on some things on this particular day. It wasn't a complete waste. I was able to get a lot of things done. The other thing that has happened the past couple of weeks is my kitchen has kind of become a dumping ground, even with the new bar stools and everything. I had to get my other purse out just for days in the hospital. I needed a lot more stuff. So everything has just kind of been put here, and I've been trying to do the best that I can with tidying things up. I got this bag at Costco and I pulled it out. It's been really great to take stuff to my mom's and back and forth. It's a really heavy handle. So when there's heavier things I need to take, it's really good. And then I have a bunch of reusable garbage bags. I went to the dollar store. We've had a couple of trips to Costco over the past little while. There's dog toys there that need to be put away. I've been trying to wash things by hand as I can and just try and stay on top of everything. But I got to take some time today to really work through it because it just hasn't been enjoyable, making dinner with all of this clutter. And, here's our new updated kitchen. I just haven't been able to enjoy it, but I got everything put away and I was determined to enjoy making dinner for my family on this particular night. And we also went back to HelloFresh because I've just been struggling with trying to keep, on top with dinner and everything. So I do have a little bit of paper clutter here and I need to come up with something to keep all of this. And I also need to do a little bit of touch-up painting where they ripped out the old countertop too. So something to add to my do list, and hopefully I will get it done sooner rather than later. But we gotta be happy with the things that we do get accomplished. Okay, I'm going to give you a little peek into this meal. It is classic turkey meatballs with spaghetti and Parmesan. This week I got 3 dinners for 4 people and I've loved it. It's just been nice cooking, and I think that's the hardest part, is coming up with a meal plan, doing the shopping, getting all of the ingredients and everything out. And when you're feeling a little overwhelmed, it doesn't always work out, and you struggle. And I really just wanted to cook. And that's exactly what tonight was. The onions were already chopped. I'm getting the water ready to boil, a little bit of olive oil. I have everything open, and it's just very simple ingredients, simple flavors, but it just tastes so much better when you actually enjoy cooking instead of looking at it as a chore. So my husband made the meatballs. I have the spaghetti. It's all measured out. I just have to put it in the water. The spinach, just enough for our dinner tonight. I also get a free thing, and I picked this focaccia bread. I didn't really care for it. It was really thick and dry. I don't know if it was perfect for this night, but anyways, I thought it was a nice freebie to have. So just goes in the oven, then you let it sit for 15 minutes, but I know everybody would like it. So we're just going to go ahead and make dinner, and the Parmesan is there. You use half in the meatballs. Just a really nice simple sauce, and then I need a cup of the pasta water to thin it out so it can really coat the noodles and everything. So I have a few more minutes for the meatballs, and then I just kind of have to assemble everything, and it's going to be delicious. Here's the finished product, a very simple recipe that I can recreate, but on this particular day, I was very thankful to have it and be able to make a nice dinner for my family to enjoy. So I had places to be this week between point A and point B, and I thought I'd share a little bit with all of you. Hitting up Michael's, I just wanted to look at what there was, and I just wanted to be in the moment because I really love just kind of browsing and seeing what there is for home decor and just what I don't need. But, when you're looking at it in the store, it is really nice to see what new things are coming out. And typewriters, there's always typewriters. Actually, life is beautiful and I have time. That one really caught me because you do have the time. You just have to balance things better. To be or not to be, that is the question, kind of a statement you see a lot, but the timeline really kind of hit me a lot as I'm doing the voiceover. But I really like seeing this kind of classic pillow with the colors, and I'm like, oh, like that's really pretty, and just seeing everything there was and looking at the Halloween decor and excited for fall, but I don't want to wish it away. Like I said, I really want to enjoy whatever's left of July and August and ease into the Burr months. And I always find September is the perfect month for that. Wicked Coffee, of course, there's going to be a lot of Wicked references. I think the sequel is coming out too, if I'm correct. I never even saw the first one yet. The green hands. So, if they can make money off of it, they will have it. But somebody said to me, I said something to somebody working here one day. I said, oh my goodness, like Halloween already? And he's like, yeah, like there's always things like with typewriters and toilets. And it kind of hit me. I'm like, yeah, there is a lot of toilets and typewriters with a lot of the decor. And then this little scenery here kind of like really got me like, oh my goodness, all of the little critters dressed up for Halloween and the little Harry Potter one. And I'm like, you know what? If I bought these and took them home and I saw them all the time, it would just kind of take away from it, And I think just seeing it in the store is like, oh, this is so cute. I'm really looking forward to fall, but I want to be in the moment and these can just stay here. I don't need to purchase them, but it is nice to look at this and think about what is going to be, coming up in the next little while, but just a reminder to be in the moment. Then I saw the sunflowers, and as I was packing up the Canada Day stuff, I was like, oh, I can't wait for August to get all of my sunflower items out. And it's so funny because the one year that I bought it, they had all of this sunflower decor and I bought a bunch of it on clearance and I haven't seen it since, but they're having some new stuff come out. It's a little bit pricey, and if you want a turkey candle, they have it at Michael's. And then I also saw these little lights, and that's one of the things that I really do like is using lights in, when it gets dark really early in the evenings, like adding that warmth to my house. And it was really nice to see some of the things that they have here. Like this would be really nice even for like October and going into November when everything is kind of bare. So I didn't buy anything. I'm going to think about it a little bit. And then also the alcohol markers. These ones are $200. I bought these markers, like the single ones, and I didn't like them. But I noticed that these ones were locked up, but then they have the Hua markers, however you say it, but they're not locked up, but they're also having them more at Michael's now. And then they do have the single ones. So if you want to try them out, that's actually really good. So you can see what you like and what you don't like. But honestly, I'm still very happy with the ones that I get at Winners. So speaking of Winners, we're going to head over and see what is available at that store. I'm at Winners now, and I'm looking for something to go on that little corner where I can put all of like my little papers and keep it all neat and tidy, but I don't really know what I'm looking for, but I know when I see it, it'll be exactly what I want. So I just need to have the patience. I will find it. But anyways, it is nice to just get out and kind of look around a little bit and just see what there is. And for some reason, I was looking at the books and I saw a coloring book, and I think I remember seeing people sharing that they had seen them at whatever stores and all of that. And I'm like, well, I'm getting it because it was meant to be. And it was the only thing that I got on this day. Cozy cuties. And, I will be sharing more of the coloring and all of that with all of you coming up. It's been helping me a lot, the past couple of months, like doing a little bit of coloring, and I'll go into a little bit more detail in another video, but I was going to grab it. And then, I'm going to look at the blankets. I have a red one that I bought years and years ago, and I wish I could have one in every color to go on our ottoman because it's just the right thickness, it's the right size, it's the right material for that ottoman. And I looked online and I can't find it. So it doesn't hurt to look because you just never know when you're going to find something. And I don't know, like karma, like all of this stuff now, like I just see this as like kind of clutter a little bit. There's certain things that bring me joy, but just all of like changing out your decor and everything, I'm just not feeling it anymore. And I'm actually like rethinking a lot of stuff. But, when you're looking for something, you gotta look because everything gets picked over very quickly. I like seeing the Snoopy. And then I wanted to share this with all of you too, because I got one of these like candle lamps last year, and it looks like they're going to be pretty popular this year. And I really like it, especially in the dark, rainy, dreary days, like the warmth and the coziness of the light and then the smell of the candle, and you don't have to worry about the flame and everything. And then they had all the syrups and everything. My daughter even sent me a picture. She was getting groceries and she's like, it's pumpkin spice season, like all of the creamers. They had a great big display, and I'm just like, I'm not ready for it yet. And then my husband saw that they had bento boxes at Costco, and he was thinking maybe one would be nice, but I just don't think it's something that we need. My Ziploc containers are really good. And then I was walking back, and then I saw this blanket with the fuzzy socks, and I like looking at these fuzzy blankets, but it's not really part of what works for me anymore. And I also stopped at the thrift store this week, but I just wasn't really feeling anything. There was coupons for like summer clothes and women's clothes, so I took a little look at dresses and everything. I thought they might have had a lot, but there really wasn't anything that I was looking for, so we're just gonna browse on this particular day. Another day that didn't go as planned, and I thought I would vlog the day, but it got too overwhelming and everything. But I had to go into the city, nothing serious, just some things came up, and the weather wasn't the greatest either. And the weekend before, my husband and I watched Dirty Dancing. It was one of those little joys that I was in the moment for. We watched it over 2 days. I don't think I had watched it since I was like maybe 14. And we really, really enjoyed it. And one of the things that we really enjoyed was the music. So I decided to listen to all of those like 50s and 60s, like just feel good music. And honestly, it was exactly what I needed on this day. There you go. I kept trying every day. I'd pick up the phone or the camera and try to film, and just didn't work. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to force myself to try and put things together and reflect a little bit on this past week. And I think it's the best thing I could have done, because there was a lot of good that happened this week, but I also had time to just kind of reflect on it. And there was a couple of things that I'm taking away with it. You know, the biggest thing in life is just the uncertainty of the future. You know, you really can't control a lot of what happens, and especially with my mom and her disease, illness, whatever you want to call it. And I had a family friend check in this week, and she always seems to like check in at the right time and, you know, how's mom doing? And, you know, I updated her and everything, and she said, you know, that's the unfortunate, like the progression of the disease, especially, you know, the decline if you get infections, hospitalizations and all that, and that's part of it. And just a reminder of being in the moment and what are the good things and all of that. And I tried to do that. And I just had a little bit of a rough visit that I had to cry. And I think I needed to do that. I needed to let those emotions and everything out, and then just leave them, and then pick up the pieces and just keep moving forward and do the best that I can do. That's all I can do with that situation. The rest of the week was good, being in the moment, lots of smiles from my boy. My husband and I had a really great week. My daughter and I too, lots of phone calls and texting and everything like that, and just everything else in life was actually pretty good. It was just all the things that I wanted to do, like to get back on track with YouTube. There was just a little and then I keep thinking about, you know, trying to put my videos together, and I'm like, what is my purpose of doing YouTube? I keep losing that, and I keep going back on what's popular, what people want to watch and everything, and I'm like, no, you know, my thing with YouTube, what I wanted to do in 2020 was I really wanted to give a peek into the life of a woman of a certain age that was going through the different things that happen, you know, in life, whether it be your own body, you know, things with your kids, your parents, just life, the world, and trying to do the best that you can. And I think that's really what I keep forgetting about, is this little community, the vlogging months, all of those like subscribers, viewers that you've stuck with me all of these years. I owe it to you, and I owe it to me, because when I do these little things and I look through, you know, when I'm editing and reflecting and all that, I'm like, oh, you know, like this was something I forgot about, or this was something that brought me a lot of joy. And I think we all go through a lot of things in our life, the bumps in the road, the ups and downs, the lemons that you turn into lemonade and all of that. And I think that's really what you need to focus on. And I think I've lost track of that, because I'm like, okay, my schedule is off, my husband's working from home, you know, things have to be quiet, or this is what's going on, or I thought I was going to do this on this day and then it didn't go as planned, and I just try and get through it. So I'm gonna take the rest of July and August to work on that, and then I had a goal and a plan for the Burr months, and I'm gonna try and get back on track and come up with a strategy so I can do what I wanted to do, and we'll just leave it at that. So anyways, this was a little peek into my week. Dirty Dancing, we watched it last weekend over 2 days, and I really enjoyed it. I think like I was like what, 14, 15 when I watched it, and there was just so much that I didn't really like process and understand of the movie, and it was just so beautiful. And then the music, the timeline, and I think that was the biggest thing too. Like she said at the beginning of the movie, this was the summer of '63, you know, Kennedy was still alive. And I think, you know, a lot of things changed after JFK was assassinated. And then also at the end of Dirty Dancing, you know, the way the owner of the resort and everything said to like the band leader, you know, we've been through a lot and now people want to go to Europe and do all of this and do all of that. And I just kind of looked at things very differently watching Dirty Dancing as a 50-year-old compared to as a 15-year-old. So I took a lot from that, and just listening to that feel-good music. Fats Domino came on, and I remember like just some of his songs I've heard over the years, and it was just like just the good music. Times are different over the years, and there's not a lot we can do. We just have to be in the moment and try and look at the good things that are happening in life instead of dwelling on all of those little challenges and everything. And when you find that balance, it's a much better everything. So I hope you enjoyed a little peek into my week, and I'm looking forward to vlogging a little bit this weekend and getting back on track with everything. I just need to remember that everything doesn't go perfect and as planned, and you need to roll with it. So that's what I'm going to try and do for July and August.